Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be reading, of course, out of the old King James Bible, and we also will be going over some scriptures concerning the title, Was it an apple in the Garden of Eden that the Lord commanded Adam not to eat that killed us? Was it an apple in the Garden of Eden that the Lord commanded Adam not to eat that killed us? Okay. We're gonna find out. Was it indeed an apple or a piece of fruit or whatnot? But I'm gonna share these scriptures with you right quick here. And but yeah, we're gonna find out was it an apple? Because for years, generations, everybody been saying, yeah, they ate an apple. Oh, she ate an apple in the Garden of Eden. And then she went and gave some of that apple to Adam. And they both ate that apple. Like, well, I'm gonna tell you what, whenever an apple start to talk, well, if I pick up an apple to eat and it start talking to me, guess what? I'm gonna throw it so far and then I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna run like I never ran before. Okay. Because apples don't talk, trees don't talk, and fruit don't talk. So I'm gonna stop sharing this right quick. And we're gonna go ahead and start with these scriptures. Okay, we're gonna start this in Genesis, the second chapter. We start reading at verse 7. And it reads, And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So, man became a living soul. So, uh, my body is the soul. And a lot of people say, I'm going to throw this in there. A lot of people say that the soul can't die. When I die, they put me in the ground and my soul fly on off to heaven and stuff. I said, well, I tell you what, if the body is the soul, when you put the body in the ground, I think the soul goes with it. And to verify that, to see if a soul can die, you go on your own, go and read Ezekiel 18th chapter, verse 4 and verse 20. And you'll find out that, yeah, soul indeed can die if it's sin, plain and simple. Okay, I'm going to read on verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So we're going to find out who that tree of life was and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was. Okay. Because the Lord sometimes referred to men as trees. Okay. So we'll move on, going to verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Okay. Verse 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. Okay? A lot of I've heard people say that, well, he died spiritually. No, he didn't say you're going to spiritually die right here. He said, in the day thereof, you are going to die. Plain and simple. Okay? Verse 18, and the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. So the Lord was going to make Adam a wife. So let's move on a little further here. Verse 21, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. So we know that the Lord can't lie, because I was sitting there one day and I was just feeling my ribs at the bottom down there. And I noticed one side was higher than the other. So I said, well, I said, I'm missing one. So obviously, yep, the Lord can't lie. See, he took that rib and he made that woman. gave it to Adam, and that was his helpmeet, his wife, and that is what he did. So now let's move on a little bit further here. Let's go over to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. And we're going to pick this up at verse 1 because once he had made that woman, she was wandering off in the garden, I guess, by herself, which she should not have been. She should have been on our head covering, which was Adam, but she wasn't. So let's see who creeped up on this woman. Now, let's see. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 1, and it reads, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yeah, as God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. He lied to her. Okay? He told her a flat out lie. Because the Lord told them that they eat it up, that they are going to die. Okay? So, for verse 5, for God doeth know. And this is something he told. He told her that lie first, but then he told her a little truth too to go with it. And we kind of see that every first day of the week. You know what I'm talking about. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Shall be as gods. Okay. And the Lord had it written, saying, I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, but you're going to die like men, you're going to fall like one of the princes. And who's dying today? We are. Okay. So he told her a lie, then he told her a little truth. Okay. Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So she ate of that fruit, then she turned around and gave it to Adam, and he ate. And the thing of it is, if Adam would have said, Woman, get out of my face with that mess, because you already know, because I taught you that the Lord said we should not eat of that tree, because if we do eat of that fruit, we're going to die. If he would have did that, who knows? We might still be living today and not dying. And I'm going to tell you, we wasn't supposed to die, because the Lord created man to live forever. But however, when he sinned in the garden and he listened to his wife, and he ate them lies just like she did, here we are, dying today. Verse 7, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Okay? Now, let's go over here and take a quick look at this fruit, this actual fruit that they ate. And let's see what it is. We're going over to Hosea. Hosea, the 10th chapter, and let's pick it up at verse 12, and it reads, Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up the break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Verse 13. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies. Eaten what? The fruit of lies is what they ate. Okay? You have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou hast trusted in thy way, in the multitude of thy mighty men. So, what did they eat? The fruit of lies. Was not an apple? Wasn't a tree? Wasn't uh those things that people say that they ate in the garden. It doesn't make any sense. But now we know it was the fruit of lies what they ate. Okay. So let's go back over here to Genesis, the 3rd chapter again. And we're gonna start this, pick it up at verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. Now, check this out, verse 11. And this is going to verify that. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? So, somebody told him. Who told him? Satan the devil, the old serpent. And he told him not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And that's who that tree of knowledge of good and evil was, that old serpent, Satan the devil. So therefore, they listened to him and they heard those lies. Lord said, don't listen to this cat. But they were disobedient. They did not do what the Lord said. Lord put that sentence on us. And now, all because of what Adam did, because he didn't say, hey, I don't want to hear that foolishness. And he should have went straight to the Lord, but he didn't do it. So now here we go. We got it. We got it. We dine today. Okay? But we do see now that it wasn't an apple, but it was the fruit of lies, because she had listened to him. And verse 12. And the man said, the woman whom thou gave her to me gave her to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So Adam did eat. Okay, he listened, and he should not have. So, let's move down to verse, let's see where we at now. Through 11, verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Okay. Verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. So, the Lord made us out of the dust of the ground, and he said it plain and simple. You are going back to the dust of the ground. You are going to die. So that's exactly what they do. They put you in a box. They dig a hole 6 feet deep. They drop you down in it. And if you stay in there long enough, you're going to turn back to the dust, just like the Lord said. God can't lie. Okay? Bam, verse 22. Now let's check this out, because if he had not have eaten of that fruit, or he had not listened to Satan, let's see what would have happened. Verse 22. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So you mean tell me that if Adam would have put forth his hand, if he hadn't eaten from that tree of knowledge of good and evil, and he would have ate from the tree of life. In other words, if he would have listened to God, so if he would have put forth his hand and listened to God, the Lord would have taught him how to live forever. And guess what? We would not be dying today. Plain and simple. Okay? All right. Verse 23. Therefore, the Lord God set him forth from the Garden of Eden, took him out of it, to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Who was the tree of life? The Lord. Okay. So in order for him to keep the way of tree of life, he put those cherubims around him, and they are around him too, even until this day. They are around him. But that was to keep Adam from putting forth his hand and talking to the Lord and listening and learning how to live forever. But to sum it up, they did not eat an apple. They did not eat a tree. They did not eat a piece of fruit that was causing us to die today. They listened to that serpent, that old devil. And so now, that's why we are dying today. So, food for thought. Think on these scriptures and these words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.